Anderson.
Good morning, everyone. Um, Thank you for this opportunity. Can everybody hear me all right? Just want to double check. It's my first time doing this. So thank you all. All right. So the title of my speech is called "The Story of a Voice." Legendary basketball coach John Wooden of the UCLA Bruins once said, "Adversity is the test that a man first learns of himself." My story is not unlike anyone else's story. It starts pretty similar, but first, let me greet everyone. To our Toastmaster, Ms. Janelle Gregory, to the fellow officers of TGIF Toastmasters, members, and guests, good morning. I am the oldest of two sons born to two ambitious, career-driven parents. Unlike anyone else, I have a normal story. I was taught to follow the rules, get good grades, and even pursue an active and healthy life once my studies had concluded. But it's the adversities that I faced as a youth that allowed me to feel transformed and shape my life to what it is today. So if you give me just a brief moment of your time, I would like to share how we got to this junction in life that we call now. It all takes me back to the fourth grade, the highlight or the glory days of school. Where education is just starting to get fun, where activities are not as boring, and girls are becoming less and less weird. I remember it like it was yesterday because it was the day and the time that I lost my voice. Now, I don't mean I lost my voice in the sense that no one would listen to me. I literally lost my voice. It all happened out of nowhere. It seemed like just a normal day. I was playing like a kid, doing different activities between school choir, church choir, and different things like that. And then all of a sudden, I noticed no one can hear me talking. After further investigation, it was found out that I had bruised my larynx to the point where I could only speak above a faint whisper. It was unnoticeable to me and my family at first, but soon the writing was on the wall. I noticed it at first when teachers became aggravated when I wouldn't participate in class as often as I used to. Then my parents started to get frustrated when I wouldn't be as verbal communicating at home. Then all of a sudden, it felt like despair was at its bitter end. 3 weeks of back and forth, twice a week sessions with a speech therapist concluded that I would never speak above a whisper again. You see, I had bruised my larynx to the point of 95% damage, unheard of in the scientific and medical community. What was I to do? I was just a kid, just learning to get involved with school and have fun. And here it is, it seemed like my life was over. And to add insult to injury, I was assigned to the speech therapist at the school who just happened to be the special education teacher. My return to school was dismal. Not only would I have to endure speech therapy, which I didn't know what it was, I would have to be moved from my regular classes and put into special education classes so I could work with a speech therapist. I was devastated. All my friends laughed at me. I would get ridiculed in the hall as I would leave the bus and go to the special education class, thinking that I was a less than student. And to top it off, I still couldn't speak above a whisper. After months, which seemed like an eternity, of speech therapy sessions and exercises and different tasks, I felt as if I wasn't making any progress. Yes, I could speak a little bit louder, but it was still a whisper. What was I to do? Then one day, it all turned around. In my excitement from home, I ran and burst through the front door. You see, I had accomplished a goal that I had set for myself to achieve a perfect mark on a very difficult project in school. I rushed past my brother, burst through the front door, and immediately yelled what I thought was in my head, "I got a perfect score." To my amazement, both my parents turned around and asked, "Why are you yelling in the house?" Then it dawned on me. My voice had returned. Not only could I speak above a whisper, but I could yell. I could sing again. I could shout again. It felt like the light at the end of the tunnel. So, in closing, I want to leave you with this thought to ponder. Take time to consider the value of your voice because you never know when you won't have one. Thank you.
Wow. Thank